Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our Shabbat morning service. It's going to be beautifully led by Isaac this morning as he becomes bar mitzvah. And there's some things we want to make sure you know and do so you can be fully part of this service. So near you should be a blue prayer book. And the prayer book goes from the right to left in the Hebrew direction, like driving in England, okay? All right, and in a little bit I'll be, announcing people to come to the Bima who have special honors, who are beloved to Isaac's family. And later on in the service, Isaac will teach us about his Torah portion and about his Mitzvah project. There's so many things that went into this day to make it a special Shabbat for the Schmetterer family. And we're so proud of Isaac. But just to orient you to our prayer book, if you turn to page 290, once you get there, you'll see on the top right-hand corner a bunch of Hebrew. Okay. So if you don't yet know Hebrew, right on the left is the transliteration. And if you want to know what we're saying, right underneath is the translation. And we encourage you to participate and be as big a part of the service as you wish to be. But to begin our service, I'd also like to say, please don't use any electronic devices during the service. We have a live stream recording being made of the service for the Schmetterer family. So, and also, please make sure your cell phones are on silent. I did the same. And with that, we can really focus on being here today and celebrating Isaac. So our first honor is your grandma, Emily Schmetterer, who's going to come up and give you your talit. So Isaac, come on forward.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hitateh b'tzivti.
Well, at 10:52 p.m., 13 years ago, you gave me an experience I had never had in my life before. You blew my heart open. I was just so thrilled to have you come into the family. And I just wanted to say that I know something about you that's so amazing. You have this quiet strength that really transcends your age. And you showed it to me every time I've been with you. And you showed it a lot to me yesterday. Your quiet strength, and you stay calm among a lot of different things, and that you take everything in and with peace in your heart. And as you wear the talid, you never cease to amaze me. Between your soccer, talents in all positions, your Minecraft, construction, come on, your sailing expertise with the wind and the currents, and you're so willing to share all your knowledge. You just have to ask. And it comes through to you. And your rock climbing ability, I saw you the other day. It was just amazing what you can do. You've always amazed me in so many ways. Even with your school grades, you national scholar that you are. And I love you. My love is just overflowing. And as you stand before me, I'm shaking, I'm sorry. As you stand before me, you are going from an adolescent to a man, living the Jewish life, and in so caring for others. And you're doing that now with your 3D printing knowledge. So you always are giving. You're a giving Jewish man now, after 13 years. And I want to tell you that I think that your future in the Jewish community has expanded today, and I am so proud of you. And this is Grandpa's book that he got when he was bar mitzvahed on May 11th, 1957. So I wanted him to touch your talid.
Thank you, Emily. So that book is 65 years old. It's very special. I hope that your adolescence is as short as your grandmother suggested. We have a great, joyous event in the family that happened just the other day with the arrival also of baby Inez in New Mexico, correct? Utah? Oh, I know there's a difference. And mazel tov to the new grandma, Laura. So new grandmas are being created all over. So our service is going to begin on page 290 with the singing of Ma Tovu. And Ma Tovu is a prayer that comes from the Torah. In the Torah, there's a story of a person who was hired to curse the Israelites, and he was climbing up the hill with a donkey, and there was an angel trying to stop his way from cursing the Israelites, but he wouldn't stop. The donkey was more perceptive than the man who was hired to curse the Israelites, and he hurt the donkey, and the donkey turned around and said to him, "Don't you see?" The donkey talked. "There's an angel. There's something stopping us." And at that point, the man realized that cursing the Israelites was not the right thing to do. And he went up to the top of the mountain and he blessed the Israelites with this prayer, Ma Tovu. So let's say the Hebrew together. I'll say it, you'll say it. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha, Yaakov, Mishkenotecha, Yisrael. Which means how fair your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Israel and Jacob, the same person, and Israel also being the Israelites. Here's how it goes. So please sing with me. I'm going to teach it to you a little. It just goes like this. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov. Everyone try that. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Try that again. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. I go to the first verse. Vani berov chazdecha avavitecha eshtachave el hechal kodechecha be'yiratecha. We all sing together, Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Adonai ahavti me'on beitecha, me'kol mishkan kevodecha, v'ani ashtachave be'echracha, e'bechad ifnei Adonai osi. Ma tovu, ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. V'ani tefilati necha Together. Ma tovu, ohar lecha Yaakov, ohar lecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu, ohar lecha Yaakov, ohar lecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. We continue on page 291.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail. How well we are aware we would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei kol basar umafli lasot. Please turn the page.
On page 292, we're going to sing this prayer together, and I'll say the word, and you'll repeat it. Elohai, Nishama,
Nishama,
Shenatatabi,
Shenatatabi,
Tahorahi.
Tahorahi.
That means the soul you've given me, God, is pure. We all started with a pure soul. We always want to get back to our pure soul. So here's how it goes. Elohai, Elohai. Let's try that. Elohai, Elohai, Nishama, 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 Shenatatabi. Try that. Shenatatabi, Tehorahi, Tehora, Tehorahi. Let's take it from the top. Elohai, Elohai, Nishama, Shenatatabi, Tehorahi. And now Isaac continues.
The soul that you have given me, O God, is pure. You created it and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as I have breath, therefore I will give thanks to you, my God and the God of all ages, source of all being, loving guide to every human spirit. Baruch atah Adonai, asher bi'ado nefesh kol chai v'ruach basar ish.
Now we continue with the recitation of our daily miracles on page 293. We go from page to page, and every time Isaac finishes a paragraph, we say Amen, which means I agree.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasech vivina lehavchen ben yom uvein laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamochen mitzadei gaver.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten laya'ev koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheina me'enai utnuma me'afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani ben chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael B'Gvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu etzotav v'tivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Please turn the page. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We continue on page 301. Baruch she'amar v'haya olam, Baruch hu, Baruch oseh v'reshit, Baruch omer ve'oseh, Baruch gozer u'mekayim, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem al habriot, Baruch meshalem sachar tov li'reyav, Baruch chai la'ad v'kayim la'netzah, Baruch podeh u'matzio, Baruch Shemo. Blessed is the one who spoke and the world came to be. Blessed is the one. Blessed is the one who continually authors creation. Blessed is the one whose word is deed. Blessed is the one who decrees and fulfills. Blessed is the one who is compassionate towards the world. Blessed is the one who is compassionate towards all creatures. Blessed is the one who rewards the reverent. Blessed is the one who exists for all time, ever enduring. Blessed is the one who redeems and saves. Blessed is God's name. With songs of praise we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty. For you are the ruler, the source of life in the universe. One God, life of the universe, praised and glorious ruler. Your name is eternal. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign who is glorified through praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech mechulal b'tishbachot. We continue on page 312.
Please rise. Yitgadah, Yitgadah, Shemei Rabbah, V'yamad yivrach yirutei, V'yamlich malchutei, V'chaychon v'mechon v'chayedech Beit Yisrael, V'hagala v'izman kariv, V'yimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, Le'olam u'le'mi halmaya, Yitbarach. Yiparach v'ishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yidromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha le'er namikol birchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechemata damira me'alema v'yimeru Amen.
Baruch et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, Oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz, Veladarim aleha berachamim, Uvtuvo mikadesh b'chol yom tamid, Ma'aseh v'reshit, Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam b'chochma asita, Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al mororei or she'asita yifrach salah or chadish al tzion ta'ir, v'nikeh kulanu mihir le'oro, Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'oro. Please turn the page to 314. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. darkness. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot.
At this time, we remain standing, and I invite up your Nana and Poppy, Nadine and Michael for a special reading.
God of all creation, you are blessed with each soul's breath. Your greatness and goodness fill the world. Knowledge and understanding surround your glory. Holiest are you among the holy, seated in glorious splendor, radiating purity and justice, bestowing loving kindness.
In knowledge and understanding, you created the heavenly lights, giving them strength and power to bring light into the world. Full of splendor, they radiate brightness. The world is warmed by their flames. We rejoice in their comings and goings, reflecting the will of their Creator. Glory and honor they give to you, glowing praises to your rule. You call the sun, and it gives forth light. You set the patterns of the moon. You are honored throughout the heavens with songs of glory and praise.
Thank you.
We continue on page 317. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. We gratefully recall the lawgivers and prophets, and psalmists and sages of Israel.
And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teachings of our ancestors live in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir in our hearts. Help us live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael b'ahava. Please turn the page. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'chayu chadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzvacha ha'ele asher anochi misavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'leftecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'knecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtartam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzotai v'yitem kedoshim Elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Please go to page 321. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Please turn the page.
We continue with our Song of Freedom on page 322. Mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi chamocha והשיבהו גאולים, לשמך אספת הים, יגולם, הודו, והמליאו וערערו. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צאו ישראל, קומה, קומה, בעזרת ישראל, ודחי נאומך יהודה בישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
At this time in our service, we turn to page 323. We rise for the Amidah. The Amidah literally means our standing prayer. And we start on that page and we go all the way through to page 326. And on 326, I'll tell you what we do then. But at this point, this is the prayer that talks about all the people who came before us, our foremothers, our forefathers, everyone who predicates where we are today.
Adonai sefatati tachufi hagitihilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Ha'gibor v'Hanara, Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Chozer Moshe Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Michai Kol atah, Rav Nehoshia, Morid atah, Mechalkel Chayim b'Chesed, Mechaye hakol b'rakamim rabim, Somich noflim b'ofei chodim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emurato, Lishene afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umida melach, Melech mimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neman atan hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. We continue in the middle of page 326 with our prayer of sanctification of holiness. The word for holiness is kadosh, and in this prayer we say the word kadosh 3 times. You've heard this in other liturgies where people say holy, holy, holy. This is from the book of Isaiah, and this is part of our liturgy where we say kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. And if you want, you can rise up 3 times on those words closer to God. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, כך כתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. We now ask Austin to accompany his Aunt Julia up to the bima for a special reading on page 328.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai created the heaven and the earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Thank you, Julia. We continue on the top of 329, rejoicing in the Sabbath with our prayer Yismachu. And if you want, you can sing, and you could clap along with tambourine.
Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat 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 Shabbat. Yismechu Yismechu v'malachutcha. Yismechu Yismechu v'malachutcha. Shomrei Shabbat Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. Shomrei Shabbat, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. I'm a Kadoshi Shivi Shabbat Shabbat. I'm a Kadoshi Shivi Shabbat Shabbat. Kulam yismehu ve'yitagu mituvecha Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat 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 Shabbat. Yismechu Yismechu v'malachutcha. Yismechu Yismechu v'malachutcha. Shomrei Shabbat Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. Shomrei Shabbat Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. V'chashvir atzita bo Shabbat Shabbat. Atzita bo v'kiddush do Shabbat Shabbat. Chedat yamim oto karata. Zecher lemase reshit Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Yai Brahmamai Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat 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 Shabbat. We're going to continue on page 330, inviting Jim, your aunt and uncle Jim and Marin Barbier to lead us in a reading.
On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others.
Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us.
Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you.
We
We praise you, Adonai, whom we alone
we serve in reverence.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha v'yirah na'avod. Thank you so much. We continue on page 332, inviting Nina and David up to lead us in our prayer of gratitude.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imagination.
Modim anachnu lach.
For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons.
Modim anachnu lach.
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim anachnu lach.
For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
Modim anachnu lach.
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
Modim anachnu lach.
For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom.
Modim anachnu lach.
For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
Modim anachnu lach.
We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lechanecha lahodot. We
Please turn the
continue.
page.
Oh, go ahead, Isaac. You
Please turn the page.
We continue with our Song of Peace on page 334, Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Chen V'chesed V'rachamim V'rachamim Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yisrael Amecha, Barcheinu Yotzreinu Kolanu Kechad, Ve'or Panecha, Tivor Panecha Netata Lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Chen V'chesed V'rachamim V'rachamim Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yisrael Amecha, Torat Chaim, Ve'ahavat Chesed, Ve'achavat Chesed, U'tzedakah V'vracha Ve'rachamim, Ve'chaim V'shalom. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Chen V'chesed V'rachamim V'rachamim Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yisrael Amecha, V'tov, V'tov, Ve'yenecha, Levarich Tamcha Yisrael, Ve'cholit, V'chol Shah, B'shlamecha. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha, Chen V'chesed V'rachamim V'rachamim Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yisrael Amecha. This time in our service, we take a moment for private contemplation and meditation, silently, as we ask God to hear our prayers. Yosef Shalom Mirama, Yosef Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yosef Shalom, Yosef Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yosef Shalom, Yosef Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yosef Shalom, Yosef Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yosef Shalom, Yosef Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yosef Shalom, Yosef Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
At this time in our service, we are going to move to the part of our worship where we open the ark, which contains the Hebrew Bible in it. Actually, 4 exact copies of the Hebrew Bible reside in our ark. We call that the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. And later on, Isaac will be reading from it. He will be teaching us from his portion. He will read the Haftarah. But before all that happens, we ask for Isaac's parents to come up on the bima, and we open the ark and ask for the congregation to please rise.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai ve'in kema'asecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom El harachamim eitiv avirtzonecha et Zion Tinei chomot Yerushalayim Kivecha levad batachnu Melech eram v'nisa Adon olamim.
Now your parents have some special words to share with you.
I have been told, is this working? Test, test.
Oh,
I have been told
here you go.
numerous things in the car on the way here that I was not allowed to mention for fear of humiliation. And one of them was the thing I was going to share with you. I'll give you a hint. Pre-K. Wood chips. It was going to happen. I'll keep it to myself. And I'll tell you later if you ask nicely. However, I was going to share this story with everyone. A, for a laugh, and B, because it shows that in life, we make mistakes. And we have always made mistakes. And in this past year, this process of you learning your Torah portion and all the prayers, I feel strongly that you and I have both made some mistakes. Yeah, this has been quite a roller coaster, everyone, going up and down with fury, rage, all sorts of things when his mother says, please practice your Torah portion. And the words we have shared with each other perhaps are not words we would share normally. However, these are processes that I feel you as today are a man in this religion. This is an important time. And I just want you to remember that it's not always easy and that the ride is rough sometimes and that you have the ability to persist and you have the ability to actually sit down and study when really put to the test or when you have 2 days left. You have the ability to do all these things and really make it and do what you need to do. And I hope these are lessons that you take with you. I hope that we can both look beyond some of the words we have shared with each other and feel that perhaps as we've sat together and studied together, my Hebrew has improved and hopefully we can learn from each other.
I just want to tell you I'm really proud of you. Choking up over here. As you're moving into adulthood, and some people say becoming a man, but let's say like moving into adulthood, I want to share with you something that stuck in my head. I think I read it, I was like 16 or 17. It's about, moving up, making a choice between what is easy and what is right, or what is right and what is easy. And so much of that for me is, I'm 17 on a good day, so as I'm like still rising into my adulthood here at 45, like it's making those choices and doing sometimes what's hard, making the hard choice when there's an easy way out, making the hard choice when there's something totally excusable that you could do and get away with, and making that hard choice when it's the better choice, when it's better for you, and most importantly, when it's better for the people around you. And that's the one thought I want to give you as you start your transition, which will take a long time if my curve is any indication. But I love you, I'm proud of you, and I'm going to be here for you as you make this transition, and we're all going to do this together.
All right. Together we sing the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai,
No, hang on.
Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Lecha Adonai Hagedula, Hagevura, Atiferet, V'Hanitzach V'Havod, Kichol Hashamayim U'Va'aretz, Kichol Hashamayim U'Va'aretz, Lecha Adonai Amalaka, V'Minasi V'Hol Rosh, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Ha'olam Omer. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Ha'olam Omer. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. V'ha'ereneinu b'toratecha v'tahapek lebeinu b'mitzvotecha. V'yachid levaveinu, Austin, le'ahava u'ye'ah et shemecha v'lo nirosh le'olam v'yim v'lo nirosh le'olam v'yim v'ha'ereneinu b'toratecha v'tahapek lebeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yachid levaveinu le'ahava u'ye'ah et shemecha.
Thank you, Austin. Please be seated. All right. So, as you've used the Blue Prayer Book this morning, now I'm going to introduce you to a new friend, and that's the Red Torah Commentary. There are a few in each pew rack. It is also, I think, predominantly in the Hebrew direction. Isaac will be starting his reading on page 1127. We are in Parshat Korah. There we go. For our first aliyah, we call up Andrea Alexander and Jeff Perlman. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Come closer.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch et
Adonai Havarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher barchavanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen. Stay right here. We are beginning on sentence number 1 in chapter 16.
Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhar ben Kehat ben Levi v'Datan v'Aviram b'nei Eliav v'On ben Pelet b'nei Ruvain v'yakumu lifnei Moshe v'anashim mibnei Yisrael chamashim u'matayim nesiei edah kri'ei mo'ed anshe shem vayikachalu al Moshe v'al Aharon vayomru aleihem Rav lachem ki chul ha'edah kulam kedoshim uvtocham Adonai u'madua tinasu al kehal Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah v'chayenu olam natan v'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, and now we have an electronic guest. We invite Brian Shook from California.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Ambarak
Baruch
Leolam.
Adonai Hamavarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen.
Vayishma Moshe vayipol al panav vadaber el Korach vel kol adato lemor boker v'yada Adonai et asher lo v'et hakadosh v'yikriv elav v'et asher yivchar bo yakriv elav Zot asu kechulachem machtot Korach v'chol adato.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen. Thank you, Brian. Okay, and now we call up a beloved family friend, Rabbi Cantor Vicky Axe. You know, Vicky was part of your parents' life for a long time. When they got married, when you got your Hebrew name, and now it's going to stand on the bima next to you and read Torah. Doesn't happen often enough. We're honored to have you, Vicky. And I'm glad you moved to New Jersey.
I'm a Jersey girl.
Baruch et et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Amorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai hamavorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ooh, it's very small. I know. Here, we're gonna find it for you. Utunu. Okay.
Utunu was the first word.
Vayakri. No. Utnu.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's before that.
Here it is. Here.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Amen. Utnu vahen esh v'simu alehen ketoret livnei Adonai machar v'haya ish asher yivchar Adonai hu hakadosh rav lachem b'nei Levi. Vayomer Moshe el Korach Shim'una v'nei Levi Hame'at mikem ki hivdil Elohei Yisrael etchem me'adat Yisrael להקריב אתכם אליו לעבוד את עבודת משכן אדוני ולעמוד לבני העדת לשרתם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Yishar Kohech. Thank you. Our honor. And now we have the Fastman family from Colorado leading us in the next blessing.
Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Ambarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten
Amen. We are grave. Wasn't this many down? How many down? 6 down here.
ויקריב אותך ואת כל אחיך בני לוי איתך וביקשתם גם ככונה לכם אתה וכל עדתך הנועדים על אדוני ואהרון לאמור. Oh no, I lost where I was.
Vaharon Ma. What was it? Vaharon. Starting again.
ויקריב אותך ואת כל אחיך בני לוי איתך וביקשתם גם ככונה לכם אתה וכל עדתך הנועדים על אדוני גם ככון לכם אתה וכל עדתך הנועדים על אדוני ואהרון. That one's smudged.
Vaharon Mahu.
כי תלינו עליו וישלח משה לאמור המת כי תלינו Me'eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash.
We went to the next one.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so too.
All right. Here we go. You find beginning of 5.
Okay?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Now for our next aliyah, we call it Mike Iger. Okay. Hi, Mike.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Ambarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Hamat ki ha'elitanu me'eretz zavat chalav udvash, lachamitenu bamidbar, ki histarer aleinu gam histarer. Af lo el eretz zavat chalav udvash, haviotanu vatitan lanu, nachale sadeh v'acharem. Ha'enei ha'anashim ha'hem tenaker lo na'ale vayichar l'Moshe me'od vayomer el Adonai al tefen el miklartam lo chamor echad mehem nasati ve'lo harioti echad mehem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Thank you. And now we call up your parents, Nina and David.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Ambarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Moshe el Korach, ata v'chol adatcha, heyu lifnei Adonai, ata v'hem, v'haron machar, uchlu, ish machtato, v'yitnu alehem ketoret, v'hikravtem, lifnei Adonai ish machtato, chamishim u'matayim machtot, v'yata v'haron ish machtato, v'yitchu ish machtato, v'yitnu alehem esh, v'yasimu alehem ketoret, v'yamdu petach ohel moed u'moshe v'yaharon.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
You guys stay here.
Now with your parents behind you always, I call you to the Torah as a bar mitzvah with your Hebrew name. Yamod, Yamod, Yamod habar mitzvah, Yitzchak Moshe ben David venomi, habar mitzvah, chazak.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayakel alehem korach et kol ha'ida el petach ohel moed. Vayera kivad Adonai el kol ha'ida. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe. V'laharon lemor. Hibadlu mitoch ha'ida hazot. V'chale otam kiraga. Vayiplu al pneihem. Vayomru lo alechem haruchot lechol basar ha'ish echad yechata vel kol haida tiksov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu et Torah emet, v'chayei olam nato b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Everyone stay here. Austin, please join us again. I ask the congregation to please rise. So lift the Torah. Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Please be seated.
In this week's Torah portion, Korach leads a rebellion against Moses with the support of many of the Israelites. In the Haftarah, Samuel leads the people in replacing the institution of the judges with a monarchy. Even while calling it an evil act in both instances, human beings insist on rejecting God's authority. In the Torah account, punishment follows within a day. The Haftarah sin of renewing kingship will also be punished, but not for more than 400 years, with the exile that is described at the end of the book of Kings.
And the part of the Haftarah that Isaac will be reading can be found in that red book on page 1266. He begins with the Haftarah blessing before and goes on to read starting on page, actually on sentence number 13 of the Haftarah and completing with the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Bachar Binvi'im Tovim Veratza V'divrehem Hana Emarim Be'emet Baruch Atah Adonai Habocher B'Torah U'Moshe Avdo U'Yisrael Amo U'Vinvi'ei Ha'emet V'Tzedek. Ve'ata hine hamelech asher bechartem asher she'eltem v'hine natan Adonai aleichem melech im tiru et Adonai v'adotem oto ushmatem bekolo V'lo tamru et pi Adonai v'hitem gamata v'gam hamelech asher malach aleichem achar Adonai Elohechem v'im lo tishmu b'kolo Adonai umrutem et pi Adonai Vita Yad Adonai Bechem Umin Votechem Gamata Hitzvu Uru Et Hadabar Hagadol Hazeh Asher Yivchar Asher Adonai Oseh Leinechem. Hello, Ketzir Hatim Hazom Ekra El Adonai Vimtem Kolot Umtar Udu Uru Ki Ra'achem Rabbah Asher Asitem Beinei Adonai Leishol Lachem Melech. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim Tzadik bechol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, hamdaber ve'oseh, hamdaber u'mekayem, shechol devarav ve'emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al hanvi'im, anachnu modim lach, u'mevarchim otach, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Mikdusha v'limnucha, shechol devarav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al hanvi'im, ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, v'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. Take a breath. We should never keep things the same. We should always move them around. You did all the Hebrew perfectly. You just did it in different spots. And that's actually a very interesting thing.
It was all planned, Cantor.
Absolutely. We have what's called in Hebrew keva and kavanah. Keva is fixed, but kavanah is when it's refreshed. Thank you for your kavanah. Excellent job. So I ask the congregation to please rise, and Isaac, you help me push the button. Push it again, under the O. There you go. Okay, and then hit the button under the C. Okay, there.
Please be seated.
In my Torah portion, Korach, a greedy royal man named Korach, thinks that Moses is keeping God and all the power all to himself. In response, he gets a bunch of followers and confronts Moses and tells him what he thinks about Moses' leadership. Moses is astounded that anyone has questioned his leadership and falls down in prayer. Then he gets back up and tells Korach and his followers to meet him in the next morning at the tent of gathering and to bring incense candles. The next morning, Korach and his followers arrive, and Moses says there will be a test. If these men die a natural death, then it wasn't God who sent me to be your leader. And then suddenly, the ground swallows all of Korach's followers, including Korach. God then gives a plague to all of the rest of Korach's followers so that they die. In the end, Moses is still leader, and even some of Korach's descendants wrote many famous psalms and were very important. I was a little surprised that Korach's descendants were not punished, because people are often punished for the crimes of their loved ones. The Torah is trying to teach us that people should not be punished for the crimes of their family. The story of Korach is important because it is about someone questioning Moses' leadership and was taught a lesson by God. This shows what happens to people who question Moses' leadership and gives an idea of God's power to the people reading the portion Korach. I think if someone questions your authority, you need to stand your ground, which Moses did, but so did Korach. The difference is how Korach questioned the authority. We can ask questions, but he was trying to intimidate him and scare him. We're allowed to ask questions, but it's the way that you ask is important. My Mitzvah project was working with a nonprofit organization called Enable, whose volunteers print 3D print prosthetic hands for those who cannot afford them. My dad and I chose this because for Hanukkah we built a 3D printer and wanted to do something really cool with it. These hands are given out for free and have custom sizes and colors. Our goal is to get approved by Enable and so that we can be the Red Bank chapter. And then we can print hands for those who need them. So far I've learned that a 3D printer is a great tool to help others, and it's okay to have fun with it, but it is also important to use it to help people. I feel really happy that I'm going to be able to help people have homemade prosthetics, and I can give them for free, which is making me feel great. It's great to have a super high-tech prosthetic, but this also has a place in helping people because they can't afford a prosthetic. I also enjoyed working with my dad on the project, and he played a big role. You can learn more at enablingthefuture.org. I'd like to thank my mom for being so patient with me while I practiced my Hebrew and making sure I was always doing my best. Mom, you drove me to all my lessons and did a lot of work to make today great. I thank my dad for encouraging me while I was doing this and all of his help with my Mitzvah project. His ongoing help has given me confidence, and I love working with him on this. I really appreciate the way that Austin always rubbed it in that I had to study. I will always do the same for you. Thank you, Cantor, for working with me and helping me get better at Hebrew. I will be going on to Mitzvah Academy. I thank all my friends and relatives for coming today to celebrate with me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So, Isaac, I know you're exhausted, but can you tell people a little bit more about how the hand you've created works?
Yeah, so this was completely 3D printed, other than a few things from a kit you can buy. You put your hands in, the person with the stub of the hand can put it in here, and this goes on their arm. When they put it in and this goes back, the fingers flex in and they can grip stuff, right? This isn't a fully functioning hand, but it works well enough where you can grab water bottles, you can grab something if you need it. On your first few tries, it's going to be pretty hard to put together, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. And if you get authenticated and verified by Enable to do this, you can give people these hands for free. You have to meet with them, get the size, talk with them, and they can be printed in custom colors too. So it's really cool.
That's an incredible gift. It's so Jewish that you're not just giving somebody finances You're actually giving them a tool to help themselves. That is one of the highest forms of giving, Isaac. You have done an incredible job with your family, I've met them, incredible role models to you. And I'm so proud of you. And you've worked very hard. You've balanced a very academically challenging school year. You're one of the last of your friends to become B'nai Mitzvah. You watched many others in your class go through this process. There are also several people who are becoming B'nai Mitzvah here today, and you are an example to them of what hard work and perseverance and putting your heart into things does. You don't have to be perfect. None of us are perfect. We just encourage you to keep doing your best, because your best is awesome. I've loved being your teacher. I was your Hebrew prayer teacher last year, every Wednesday, and then you and I started to meet every single week. And I really wish I had 2 hours a week to be with you, Isaac, because you asked so many questions, and I could so easily get into your question and talk to you about it for an hour. But I never had enough time with you. I'm never going to have enough time with you. You're an extraordinary student. And I'm sure that all of your teachers feel that way about you, and I'm grateful for the time that I had with you. I'm thrilled that you're staying on in our religious school and going on to Mitzvah Academy. In that way, too, you are a role model because of your leadership in staying committed. And I'm grateful to your parents for showing you how important the synagogue is in your life. I've chosen a song for you, and I know that you're embarking on so many incredible things academically in your school. I know you love engineering. I know you love making people happy. I know you love sports, and I know you love your family and your little brother. And the way you play together is really actually beautiful. So I'll let you sit down and take a rest for a second, and I know that there was a lot of focusing, but you were a great service leader. And now you can just take a little breath while I get to sing you a song.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be a world still to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your eyes shine with the light of honey words, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, your fulfillment be in justice, even as you ever yearn to listen to the words of the holy ancient one of old. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your heart fill with intuition. May your words be filled with insight. May songs of praise be upon your tongue, your vision straight before you, even as you ever yearn to listen to the words of the holy ancient one of old. May you live to see your world. May you live to see your world. May you live to see your world fulfilled.
And now, Isaac, I'd like to ask you to join me in front of the ark, and I ask the congregation to please rise.
וישמרך. יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום, שלום. Amen, amen.
Please be seated. So we have some people who are going to say nice things to you, Isaac. You don't have to do a thing, but stand there, all right? And while that's happening, I have 3 people helping me hand out your candy. I'm going to call up Austin, Kaya, and Caleb. So this is not to eat. This is to use later on. So when you get the candy, just hang on to it. Okay, Dean's going to speak to you.
Isaac, on behalf of the Temple Board and Monmouth Reformed Temple, I give you this certificate. Congratulations to you and your family. You and I have something in common. I don't play soccer, but I went to your school, which is the high school. It's now your middle school. Graduated in '69. And I got a text from your superintendent, Dr. Rummage, that you're an awesome student and you have a great family. So on behalf, this is your certificate, and I'm happy to hear that you're going to continue with your Jewish studies.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. I'm going to call David from Brotherhood. Men's Club Brotherhood.
Hope it's the same thing we always give. That's right. Yes, a Torah commentary. Hey, Isaac, that was a fantastic job there. This is a gift from the Men's Club. It's a Torah commentary. It breaks it down for you in the English language. So it makes it a little easier to understand. You can consider it like the Cliff Notes version of the Torah, okay? So this is for you. This is our gift. You know, I was ready to say, you know, that this guy here did everything.
I know.
Except hand out programs. And then I realized he handed out programs. Wow, that was some job. And, you know, I read up a little bit about you in the email. I listened to what Grandma had to say, and you apparently have a lot of talents. A lot of interest, a lot of talents, smart guy and all that. One thing that caught my eye was the skiing. You're a skier too. Do you have a favorite place you go to?
I kind of go around a lot of places with my family.
Local or?
I like like New York, Pennsylvania. I like Bel Air Mountain.
Bel Air, okay. Bel Air, yep, they redid it. I haven't been there in a while, but Bel Air's nice. You go up to Vermont at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we got a lodge up there in my club, so I may work on to join that too, along with the men's club. But there was something else Grandma talked about, which I won't join you with. She said something about rock climbing. I will leave that one out. But very good. That was fantastic. I think you've got a bright future from everything I see. And I'll see you around, and I know I'm going to keep looking up. You're going to be so. All the best to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dan. Sisterhood, we have Priya. Okay. Good job.
So I'm here to represent the Sisterhood of Monmouth Reformed Temple, but I'm also here because you're a friend of my son's, and also I've gotten to know your mom because we're both on the Religious Education Committee. I'll never forget the first day that I met her. Now, I know she wasn't allowed to embarrass you today, but I'm allowed to embarrass her, right?
Sure.
So it was a couple of years ago, there was a meeting, the first meeting for the Bar Mitzvah.
Hey, Priya, go closer to the microphone.
Okay. Should I go on this side? Okay. So, yeah, everybody needs to hear me about this, right? So it was the first meeting we had about the bar bat mitzvah process for this group of kids. And every kid was supposed to come with one or both parents. Normally when they have these kind of things, David has come, and so I met him a couple of times already, but I'd never met Nina. And this was the first time I saw her. And not only was that interesting, but she was there all by herself. You were nowhere to be found. So the meeting starts, and Magda gets up and talks, and the rabbi gets up and talks, and the cantor gets up and talks. And most of us parents are sitting around and listening and secretly hoping the meeting will end soon. But not your mom. She came with a notebook and a pen, and she took notes as if her life depended on it. Every word they said was probably transcribed word for word. She paid attention really well. So when the meeting was finally over, we broke up into smaller groups, and she was in my group. So I asked her, how come you're here by yourself? What's up with that? And she said, well, Isaac had an important soccer game to go to, so he couldn't be here. But since I've never been involved in a bar mitzvah before, I wanted to come to learn as much as I could. And then the next thing she said, I don't remember if it was word for word, but it was along the lines of, I'm here to make sure my son doesn't screw this up.
That sounds like her.
Yeah. Well, those notes must have worked because you didn't screw up today. You did a great job. Mazel tov to you.
Thank you.
And the sisterhood wants to support you to continue your education, which it sounds like you already are, all the way through confirmation here at the synagogue. And we want to give you this gift of candlesticks and a Kiddush cup so that you can celebrate the Jewish holidays and Shabbat at home with your family, and also one day with a family of your own. And we also encourage you to be involved in the Jewish community here and in the world at large one day.
Mm-hmm.
So mazel tov to you and your family from the sisterhood and the entire congregation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priya.
Okay, so I'm going to let Priya assume her seat before the next thing happens. So that candy that you were given, that's now, meant to be, when I say the word, tossed towards Isaac as a gift of sweetness. Remember, there are no professional scouts here clocking your throw, all right? And you're also supposed to hit the person, the back of the head in front of you, and you want to sort of have it lay at Isaac's feet. And Isaac, if you want, you can hold something up. You're good? All right, so hang on. I'll tell you when. All right. When I say a special word, I'll tell you when to go. Mazel tov.
Gosh, guys, your aim is so bad.
Okay, now I want all the kids to come on up and take the candy, please. Here you go. All the kids come up. All right, take the candy. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Okay, did you get enough? All right. Okay. If you didn't get any, I have more for you later on. Nina got a lot of candy. Here we go.
Anybody hit you?
No.
So, all right, you guys, you're doing great. Have a seat. All right, terrific. Okay. All right. We have just a few more prayers and things to do. We do? Here's your prayer book here underneath. Yes, we do. I want to thank so many members of our temple for attending here today to support you, especially one of your teachers, Rabbi Leslie Bergson, who loved being your teacher last year, and it's so special that she took the time to come celebrate with you today. And I'm grateful to Leslie for so many reasons. If you could all turn to page 586 and please rise. Isaac, you get to open the ark again.
Whoa.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתקדונה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נטע שמיים ויוצר הארץ, מושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרמים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We are on page 592. Thinking of those who came before us. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Our thoughts turn to those who departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and every nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We remember them and meditate on the meaning of love, loss, of life and death as we turn to page 598, remembering those dear to us and saying these words of faith. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'almad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitkomam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushlichata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Isaac has chosen the closing song, Tree of Life, and I'll give you the page number, but there's a whole big clapping thing in it, so it might be hard to look at the page number. But you can find the words to Tree of Life in your prayer book. On page 374. For I've given you good instruction, do not abandon my Torah. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All its supporters are happy, its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. supporters are. Happy it is the tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. That's like the song that never ends. It can keep going. It can keep going. So in the windowsill, we have a challah and a kiddush cup. And I'd like to ask Isaac's friends from religious school, from his religious school class, to come join him on the bima. Okay, Isaac, hold the challah in two hands, plate. All right, first, all right, where's the kiddush cup? Who's got it? Okay, somebody hold that up. Hold the kiddush up. Here we go. Okay, Turner. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. All right, now the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Isaac, you can start ripping that apart. Here we go. And everyone is invited to come stay for lunch right next door. Shabbat shalom.